field strip for cleaning of a Ruger SR22. It's very important to note that this is a step you need to do right away is make sure the firearm is safe, especially, in my opinion, in a firearm that has so many safeties. The more safeties you have, the more likely you are to rely on them to work, which is a mistake. Always treat every firearm as if it's loaded. I'm removing the magazine, and next I'm going to make sure there are no rounds in the firearm. The furthest forward notch is the slide lock. I'm going to pull the slide rearward, lock the slide to the back, visibly and physically inspect, which is easy to do with the stainless steel barrel. There are no rounds in the chamber. There's no magazine in the pistol. I know this weapon's been made safe. Alright, now we're going to disassemble this for cleaning. Not a full disassemble, but a field strip so that we may clean it. Alright, so now that that's done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock the slide rearward. And there's a little lever inside the trigger guard on the left side of the pistol. You just flip that down, then you let the slide come forward. Now what you've done is you've removed it so it can just come right off the top. The barrel is integrated into the frame. So for general cleaning, you don't have to break the frame down any further than this. However, this pistol is a little trickier to clean because you do have a lot of nooks and crannies around the barrel, as the barrel does not remove from the slide. It's a stationary barrel. So what I like to do is just take and wipe down first with like a dry paper towel or cloth all the crud from the range, the carbon residue and the oil. And then I like to get in there with the brush and brush it out, paying particular attention to all the little hideouts right along the opening of the barrel, right around the chamber area. And again, you don't need to disassemble this further, although every now and then visibly inspecting inside the magazine well to make sure that's clean or free of debris is important. You also don't want a lot of crud building up there, so you might want to just wipe that down. But for all practical purposes, this frame is done. Now, the guide rod and spring almost fall out. So what you want to do is see how they're orientated. Alright? So the spring and the guide rod go like such, and they will actually go in the slide like so. So this falls out a good amount of time, no big deal. Now the slide for general field strip cleaning, you don't need to take down any further. You want to pay particular attention to cleaning up inside these grooves. This groove on the left side of the slide is very, very deep. You're going to want to make sure that get in there. A Q-tip won't get in there deep enough, but you can start the process and then get a brush and really brush that out. In top here of the slide, right where the extractor is, that pulls the round out of the chamber. You're going to want to clean that off really well. A lot of carbon will build up right there, especially with this firearm. It is a little bit messier, but it's fun. So this is a field strip for a cleaning of a Ruger SR22. To reassemble the Ruger SR22, your frame, which is all together with the barrel already assembled to it, really quite simple. It's one of the simplest firearms to reassemble. It's up there with the Glock for simplicity. Take the slide, oops, I've been showing it to you like this, and right in the slide there's the hole where the barrel goes, and then there's this hole where you place the spring. Now let me show you how you have this. The back of the solid part, the bigger part of the guide rod, is towards the rear of the pistol. Alright? So you put the open spring right inside, and then you can feed it like so. That's how a lot of people do it. You may find it, as I do, easier to put the spring, again, the guide rod goes to the rear, already in the pistol, underneath the barrel. There's a little hole where it sits. You can see that? There's a little hole where it sits right in there. And then that way, again, I'm going to put that spring inside that slot in the slide, but I find it easier to do it like so, where I feed the spring in, a little easier when I have it at a different angle, feed the barrel in, pull to the rear. Whoops. My hammer has come on. I did not take the safety off, so the hammer did not lock to the rear. You want the hammer in the rear to begin with. So that way when you pull it back, pull it all the way back, you can fit in the grooves. For mine, I have to just touch the hammer, and it'll come forward. I've noticed a lot of people in their firearm don't need to touch this hammer at all. Let me show you that. Again, if the safety's on, the hammer won't lock back, so the hammer will get in your way. So you want to take the safety off so the hammer locks back. And again, my preferred way, guide rod spring right underneath the barrel in its little hole. See it so? You start the spring, rotate it around the barrel, just going to rotate it around. I'm not pointing at my arm, but so you can see, taking this really awkward position. Now for me, rotating around, I do have to pull this hammer back, just ever so slightly, to allow it to come forward. Lock it forward here. I'm going to rotate it. I like to go ahead and take the safety off. When you take the safety off, it decocks it. Alright, so let's do a function check. Cycles. Slide lock. Locks it open. Goes forward. Safety off. Hammer stays in single action. Decocks it. Doesn't lock back with the safety on, or off. Hammer lays back to go into single action. Alright, thanks for watching the disassembly, reassembly of a field strip of an SR22. Not a full disassembly, but just a field strip for cleaning. Thanks for watching.